Pinot Noir is the second most planted red grape variety in California. It's right behind Cabernet Sauvignon. In the post-sideways boom from 2006 to 2015, Pinot Noir plantings increased in California by 65%. And by 2016, it reached close to 45,000 acres. And for my European friends, that's a little bit under 20,000 hectares. Pinot Noir is a beloved grape variety. Its origins are in Burgundy. It's an ancient grape variety. It's only a few generations removed from the wild grapevines that existed in that area. It's a very difficult grape to grow and to vinify. Producers that want to undertake the task are super passionate because when the wines can be underripe, they can be acidic and thin. However, at the top end, they can be rich and hauntingly perfumed. A lot of Pinot Noir producers are tormented because they want to create great red Burgundy. That is the benchmark. With time, though, there's a lot of styles that have developed, especially ones in New Zealand, in California as well, although I have to admit the old image of California Pinot Noir was rich, more steakhouse Pinot Noir, actually with a little bit more color than Pinot Noir usually gives off. However, there are producers in different areas, different cooler climate regions that are producing beautiful wines. Giving the stereotypical Pinot Noir flavor mouthfeel is a little bit difficult because it can be high in acid, it can be thin, it can be lighter in color with red fruit flavors, or on the top end, some of the high-end Burgundies can be dark in color, they can be rich, perfumed, and pretty tannic and structured. Generally speaking, when I'm blind tasting with Pinot Noir, I'm going to expect strawberry, raspberry, fall leaves type flavors. Literally like when you walk in the forest during the autumn and smell the leaves, they're usually going to have a nice silky mouthfeel. While Pinot Noir can be outstanding, I have to admit Pinot Noir is not one of my favorite red grape varieties because often I'm disappointed with them more than I'm pleased. It's just a difficult grape to make into good wine. It's also tough in the fact that everybody wants to make red Burgundy, like I said earlier. While you can make real simple, real fruity, delicious Pinot Noirs, that's not the sexiest thing to make, but I think that's a way that some people maybe should do it. And then at the top end, I find that generally the ones from Australia, New Zealand, and California are the most consistent for my palate. I even like some of the bigger California styles of Pinot Noir. Unfortunately, it becomes really expensive, especially in California. You want to jump in, you're looking anywhere from the high 30s, 50 bucks minimum, and that goes up to hundreds of dollars. I have 7 different Pinot Noirs from different regions in California, in Mendocino, Napa, Sonoma, Santa Barbara County. All these wines are going to be a little more expensive, but not ridiculous. None of them top $100. I think we're looking at anywhere from the $35 to $70 range. So on paper, should be good stuff, but the proof is in the pudding. Let's get blind tasting. Let's see how these are. Let's get it. Time to taste some Pinot Noir. I have my Rovsya Burgundy glasses. These are the best inexpensive wine glasses I've ever used. They're Burgundy glasses, but I found them to work well with a lot of red wines and even big white wines. I have a link in the description box if you want to check them out. And I like them too. I have more expensive glasses, but I just really enjoy using them. And I don't stress because if I break, they're pretty inexpensive. Okay, I got these Corvin. Somebody mixed them up for me. Let's get tasting. In the US right now, Oregon is really hot when it comes to Pinot Noir. However, I still find California Pinot Noir to be pretty darn exciting, especially as producers are starting to pull back, make less big wines. Although I have a producer here that makes more of a steakhouse Pinot Noir. Let's see if I can pick it out. Let's start out with wine number 1. Wine 1's awesome right away. Got a lot of perfume, a lot of raspberry, strawberry, a little bit of rose petal. This would definitely come across as a New World Pinot, but a very darn good one at that. It's a very explosive flavor. When it comes to tasting wine, we're all prisoners to our own bias. I mean, I guess that's anything in life. We're seeing everything through our philosophy, through our lens. My stereotype of Sonoma Pinot Noir is sometimes it can be overripe, oaky. This is not the case here. It is rounded. I do not taste a lot of wood. The length is really good. I think this is a heck of a start. I'm looking forward to seeing what the price is because I think number 1 is exceptional. Very good. You know, the thing is, I get a lot of enjoyment out of drinking California Pinot Noir. I just don't like that the prices are generally on the higher side. And a lot of times I can get just as much enjoyment out of drinking a Sangiovese, although Sangioveses can be tannic. I have to admit, when I bring Pinot Noir to a crowd, those wines are usually finished the quickest. In the New World, especially in California, the tannins are pretty round or pretty low for the most part. Let's go with wine number 2 here. Wine 2 is a little bit, wow, when you smell, The thing about Pinot Noir, it's difficult. It's not just easy to taste Pinot Noir. It takes work. I heard a winemaker say one time, Pinot Noir is not enjoyment. You have to work to taste it. This is a little bit more ripe, wine 2, than wine 1. Wine 2 is more cherry. The wood shows a little bit here. It's not overpowering, but it definitely shows. I feel like 1 is a little bit of a prettier wine than wine 2. Here's the thing, though, about wine 2. It's still pretty darn structured. It's long. It might be younger than wine 1. These are all not the same vintages, but they are current releases, I think, of every single producer here. Maybe it just needs time to come together in terms of fruity oakiness, because the structure, it's really long. I prefer wine 1 to wine 2. However, wine 2 is really good. It's a wine that's, for me, in my opinion, just not ready to drink at this moment in time. Wine 1's just pretty. I just got back from 3 straight weeks of traveling in Italy and France. We were with a lot of people. Some of the discussions came out as the word feminine or pretty shouldn't be used in wine. I don't know. Tell me what you think about it. Leave it in the comments below. I like to use it when it comes to Pinot Noir. Maybe that's not politically correct. Wine 3 shows a little more oak. It's a little bit darker than the other 2. A lot of red fruit flavors, but the wood to me comes on pretty strong. Structured, again, could be young. This is the problem with Pinot Noir. It should have wood. A lot of producers in Burgundy use new oak. However, Pinot Noir can be really overpowered. Sometimes when it's picked underripe, it can be really acidic. When you wait a little while, it can get sappy. When you put too much wood on it, it can get aggressive. This is a high quality wine, number 3. However, the oak, for my preference, is a little bit strong. Black cherry, the wood really comes out. The funny thing on the palate, the structure, it's undeniably good wine. Wine 4 has this vegetal black olive component. Cherry, the black olive, the sage notes. Number 4 is super difficult for me. Give it to me double blind. I don't know if I could pick out it's Pinot Noir. I might pick out that it's some, I don't know, lighter red variety. Maybe Frappato-esque or something like, sometimes I've smelled even Langhe Nebbiolos like this. Also, I've had some Kick-Francos, Blaufrancos that fall in this as well. It's good. It's really good wine. I just don't know that it's Pinot Noir. I guess on mouthfeel, because it is silky. This has the softest tannins out of all these, so I think it might be the easiest to drink. I think it's good wine. I want a little bit more perfume. Pinot Noir is extremely hard to blind taste. There's so many subtleties. Maybe if I was tasting these next to some crappy wines, it'd be like the best scores ever. But again, a lot of us have high standards for Pinot Noir. Let's move on to wine 5 here. Wine 5 has a lot of rose petal. It has like the strawberry rhubarb component. My grandmother used to make strawberry rhubarb pie. That's what I associate with Pinot Noir sometimes. Juicy. I feel like the acidity is not as high in this one, so sometimes people don't like that sharpness of acidity. This wine, nothing sticks out. It just comes together really nicely. Some perfume is starting to come out. Not a lot of wood here. Pinot Noirs here, you gotta kind of leave them in the glass and play with them because they really start to develop. I think it's pretty good. Let's move on to wine 6 here. Wine 6, again, a dark, wow, there's some darker styles here. So funny, I was going on and on about Pinot Noir, California Pinot Noir changing, producers letting back a little bit. But again, I've had some darker ones here. I had like wines 2 and 3 that showed a lot of wood. I think 3 showed the most oak. This shows oak, but it is elegant. I don't know how to explain that. It kind of just melts together, this wood, this cherry, rose petal. Here's the thing about Pinot Noirs, I'm really getting my nose into them, and none of the alcohol doesn't really burn my nose hairs or anything like that. Pinot Noir is just nice wine, nice wine. Pinot Noir really makes you think. Like I said, wine 6, the finish is just so long. 7 has blackberry, black raspberry. The fall leaves really comes out on this. It's darker, but yet the fall leaves comes out. Usually I think of fall leaves coming out more with more underripe Pinot Noir. This is ripe Pinot Noir, but it has fall leaves, which just makes me really intrigued. Really structured, this one. It has some tannins that kind of grip to your palate a little bit. I have one that really, really impresses me quite a bit. Let's get to the reveal. I don't think I'm able to identify here what regions these are actually from. Pinot Noir is very producer dependent. It takes a delicate touch in the cellar. My scores here generally aren't super ridiculously high. However, I've started to rethink my scoring system a little bit and just be a tad more critical. In the past, I was thinking whenever wines are just really well made, they're balanced, they show a little bit of character, I'm like, oh, they probably should be at least 90. I've been rethinking that a little bit. I was talking with a master of wine. He said, I don't think these days just because a wine's well made, it should automatically be 90 points. So I had some people in the past say, what's the order of reveal? It's kind of confusing. Most of the time, unless I specify, it's always going to be lowest scored wine to highest scored wine. That's just how it is. Wine 3, the oak for me, was a tad bit strong. It was really, really good wine, but maybe it was just because it's young. The oakiness really got to me. I gave it 89 points. Let's take a look and see. Let's see where it's from, shall we? Ready? Let's see. Wow, this is the Alma Rosa El Jabali Santa Rita Hills Pinot Noir 2020. This is a single vineyard wine, $65. 89 points. This was a winery that was started by Sanford. Anyways, in the film Sideways, when they go to the first wine tasting and Miles yells at Jack for chewing gum, he's tasting rosé, it's actually at Sanford Winery.
Strawberries, yeah. Good. Strawberries. Yeah. Not the cheese.
Are you chewing gum?
He was one of the pioneers in introducing Pinot Noir to Santa Barbara County. He started this project after he sold Sanford to, I believe, to an insurance company. I think he just sold this project as well. $65. Again, it's 2020, but you know what? That just is how it is. It's just the wood was a little bit strong for me at this point in time. Okay, moving on. Wine number 2. It was a little oaky. However, it was rich. It was structured. It was quite nice. The wood came on a little bit, but for some reason in the mouth, it came together pretty nicely. I gave it 91 points. Let's take a look and see what this is. This is from Napa Valley. This is the Bouchaine Estate Pinot Noir. 2019, readily available in the U.S. $35 from Carneros. A lot of people associate Napa Valley with Cabernet Sauvignon. Carneros is one of the sub-AVAs on the bottom of Napa, and it's split. Half of Carneros is in Sonoma County, and half of it is in Napa. I think the San Pablo Bay, I think that's what it's called. It's near a body of water. It's generally in one of the cooler areas in Napa. A lot of grapes for sparkling wine are produced there. Bouchaine, I've been very impressed with their wines before, $35. Kudos. Like I said, a little oaky on the nose, but when it come together, I thought it was excellent. With age, I think this is going to be good. $35 if you want to get in on California Pinot Noir. I think that's a pretty darn good deal, especially from a producer that actually grows their own grapes. Number 4 was very confusing to me. Had some black olive, some sage, some red fruit. It was one where I said, in a double blind tasting, I don't know if I could determine if it was Pinot Noir or not, but I thought it was a very good red wine. I gave it 91 plus points. It was delicious. Let's take a look. Let's see what this bad boy is. Wow, this is the Barra. This is from Mendocino Reserve Pinot Noir. This is the cheapest in the bunch. 2021 at $26. Mendocino, it's north of San Francisco. It's an area that's getting really hot right now in terms of Pinot Noir. I think Anthill Farms, if I remember, very good producer of Pinot Noir up that way. $26, 91 plus. I think it was very good. Made with organic grapes. I thought it was really good and a value. Okay, number 7, it was a little bit confusing for me. Like I said, it was a little riper, yet it had those fall leaf notes. I usually equate fall leaves flavors to more underripe Pinot Noir or Pinot Noirs that have more strawberry type flavors. 92 points. I thought when I started tasting it, it was very nice in the palate. Let's take a look and see what it is here. Producer I've never tasted from before. This is the Lucas and Lewellen Estate Vineyards High 9 Goodchild Vineyard Pinot Noir from Santa Maria Valley, 2018. This comes in at $38 for a single vineyard Pinot Noir from Santa Maria Valley. I think that's really, really good. Santa Maria Valley is really interesting because it's just completely exposed to the Pacific Ocean, which is not too far away. Really, really cool story behind this producer. They actually randomly emailed me and they wanted some advice on Croatian wines because they saw some of my content. She told me that she produces Pinot Noir in Santa Barbara County, and I was like, I'd like to taste your Pinot Noir. Why don't you send it over? And she did. I think this is very nice. 92 points. Riper style. Santa Maria Valley, I usually generally think of the wines not to be a little bit darker like that one was, but hey, it is what it is. Pinot Noir is such an interesting grape because yes, it is terroir driven, but it's also producer driven. Number 5, the one I said, strawberry rhubarb pie. I said it was just balanced. This is the wine where nothing really stood out. It was just really nice on the palate. I gave it 92 plus points. Let's take a look. and see what it is here. This is, oh, I've liked this producer in the past. This is the Hill Estate Pinot Noir, Santa Rita Hills, 2020. $50 again from Santa Barbara County. Santa Rita Hills, one of the premier areas in Santa Barbara County for Pinot Noir. The owner of this producer also owns the famous Napa Cabernet Screaming Eagle. Honada is another famous winery they own down there in Santa Barbara. I used to think of the Hill as a bigger style Pinot Noir. This comes in at 13%. Looks like they're toning back. So funny. I used to think of the Hill in the past as being wines that are pretty bit heavy. I like the direction they're going here. I think this is really good wine. Really good. These are allocation wines. They're pretty tough to get the hands on. I think you're only going to get them at nicer restaurants or if you're on the list, but I think it's worth checking out. Very good stuff. All right, number 6. This has dark cherry. It was a little bit on the oakier side. Like I said, I usually don't like my Pinot Noirs to be so oaky. However, yet it was oaky, but yet elegant, and everything came together on the palate. Finish was really long. I gave it 93 points. I thought it was really good. I'm interested to see what it is because we're down to the last 2. Let's take a look here. 93 points, oaky, yet integrated and elegant. Let's take a look and see. Wow, this is the Sojourn Pinot Noir 2021 from the Sonoma Coast, $45. This producer, some of their single vineyard Pinot Noirs were some of the first I was really impressed with. I have to say, 93 points, $45. You can find this. I usually think of Sojourn wines to be a little bit bigger, and it really wasn't so huge and big. It was just nice Pinot Noir. Like I said, this is 2021, so that oak is going to go away. I think it's excellent wine. Good job, Sojourn. The first Sojourn wine I ever had was actually a single vineyard wine in Armenia, of all places. I was traveling through Armenia and working on my book about Armenian wines. And in Armenia, a lot of the repats, people that left the country and then came back to Armenia, are from California. LA is a huge hotbed for Armenians, and they showed me this wine, and I've been impressed ever since. Okay, number 1, Long Raspberry Perfume. It was just a beautiful wine. Really, really, really pretty. I was super impressed with it. 94 points. I thought it was very good. Very good. Let's take a look here. The Small Vine Wines Estate Cuvée, Russian River Valley, Sonoma County, 2018, $50. Only 400 cases produced. They're very known for their Chardonnay. I am really impressed with this producer. One of my friends, Drew DiMatteo, shout out to him, retired, living out in Sonoma. He connected me with them. I gotta go out and visit them. Russian River Valley, super famous area for Pinot Noir. And $50, I think this is outstanding. I know, like I was complaining about Pinot Noir, California Pinot Noir being a little pricier. I think that's worth every single penny of $50. So tell me, what is your favorite region for California Pinot Noir? Or have you had California Pinot Noir before? What do you think about it? Drop it in the comments below. See ya!